Hello. Today you'll learn about the human ear, its parts, its functions, and how it processes sound. Let's start with labeling the basic parts. This is the tympanic membrane, more commonly known as the eardrum. Inside the eardrum, there is a thin, cone-shaped membrane that separates the external ear from the middle ear. When sound waves enter the ear, they strike the eardrum. The membrane then vibrates with the same force as the sound wave and transmits the vibrations into the inner ear. The second part of the ear we are going to discuss is called the scapha. The scapha is the hollow end of the helix, which you will be learning about next. The third part of the ear is called the helix. The helix is the fold of cartilage on your outer ear. This next part of the ear is called the external auditory canal. External auditory canal, or the ear canal, allows for efficient sound transmission from the environment to the tympanic membrane. The fifth part of the ear we are discussing is called the mastoid process. The mastoid process is located in the posterior portion of the temporal bone. It is found behind the ear. The mastoid process provides an attachment for certain muscles of the neck. The next part of the ear we are discussing is called the lobe. The lobe is the fleshy, lower part of the outer ear that hangs down. It is designed to collect sound waves from the air and guide them to the tympanic membrane. The next part you'll learn about is called the malleus, or the hammer. The malleus is a small bone in the middle ear. When sound reaches the tympanic membrane, the malleus transmits these sound vibrations to the incus. The next part of the ear you will learn about is called the semicircular canals. The semicircular canals are part of the inner ear. They are filled with a fluid called endolymph. The semicircular canals contain three main parts: the horizontal, posterior, and superior canals. Each of these provide a separate sense of directional balance. The next part you'll learn about is called the cochlea. The cochlea is a part of the inner ear that transforms vibrations of the cochlear liquids into neural signals. This next part is called the ganglia of the vestibular nerve. The ganglia of the vestibular nerve, also known as the vestibular ganglia, transmits sensory information transmitted by vestibular hair cells. Next is the facial nerve. The facial nerve's function is to control most of the muscles of facial expression. It is found in the inner ear. The next part is called the auditory, or eustachian tube. The eustachian tube connects the middle ear to the throat. It allows air to pass between the tympanic cavity and the outside of the body. The next part of the ear is called the round window. Round window, a membrane-covered opening between the middle ear and the cochlea, allows for pressure changes between the middle ear and the cochlea. The last part of the ear you will learn about is called the temporal bone. The temporal bone is located at the base and sides of the skull and underneath the temple. It protects the inner ear from damage. Now that you know the basic parts of the ear and their functions, let's talk about how the ear processes sound. The outer ear's job is to collect and channel sound to the middle ear. The visible part of the outer ear is called the pinna. It is made of ridged cartilage covered by skin. Sound funnels through the pinna into the external auditory canal. The middle ear's job is to transform energy of a sound wave into vibrations and then into compressional waves. Sound causes the eardrum and tiny attached bones to vibrate near the cochlea. The inner ear's job is to take compressional waves and transform them to nerve impulses to the brain. In an overview, the ear converts sound energy to mechanical energy and then transforms that to a nerve impulse transmitted to the brain. Humans have a good frequency range for hearing, but not as good as other animals, such as the beluga whale or canine. The human hearing range is between 15 Hz and 20,000 Hz, while the beluga whale's is between 1.2 Hz and 120,000 Hz, and a canine's is up to 65,000 Hz. Now you know all about the human ear and how it works. Thank you for watching!